I'm not a plugin reviewer. I'm just your fellow producer and mixing engineer with background in science who have developed some decent experience using plugins while mixing metal, like all of us do when we progress in our careers. Clipper plugins are no exception to this, obviously. So my good friends at the Modern Metal Songwriter, which, by the way, I'm not affiliated with, I just love their stuff, have sent me their most recent exciting plugin, the NovaClip. And today I aim to explore this clipper together with you as a creator, but not as much as an engineer, because Pro Tools just crashed. Cheers. Typical. I don't want to try taking the job of the amazing professionals that would do the technical aspect and cover it and explore it so much better than myself. Looking at you, Raytown Productions. Cheers, mate. Instead, I want to explore the application and the results that the clipper would provide to my fellow creators, guitarists and home studio mixers, just in the flow process of mixing like we all do. No clipping on drums. I like it. Hey, I'm Dr. Mark Trubetskov, the mad scientist of metal, and I'm here to bring valuable information on metal production, recording and mixing. So mate, please like and subscribe to my channel in order to not miss it out. Let's go. So firstly, let's explore what makes a good clipper and why do we want to use clippers anyways. Clipping is a good way to reduce the dynamics of your track, bring up the loudness, the RMS, and shave off those pesky transients of your track while retaining its punch. Because clippers act in a more instantaneous fashion rather than limiters and therefore are less noticeable. Clippers do produce distortion though and may take up the low end of your track. Therefore, depending on the preference, good clippers produce cleaner results while increasing the RMS accordingly. Modern tone is also sometimes associated with the clipper distortion character. Oversampling is also super important in order to get clean and full sounding clipped results. There are a few clippers on the market, to say the very least, and all of them sound, to be honest, quite rather similar. Let's now see how NovaClip compares to them and what can it offer to compete with those plugins. Here is the NovaClip, and let's look at the interface and see what it offers as compared to the others on the market. I am a regular user of K-Clip 0 by Kazrog, which is free, and the JST clip as well. And these two are very simple. They do not offer many features rather than the amount of clipping, output gain, which is in and out here. K-Clip, you can link them, which is amazing, and then K-Clip additionally offers harder or softer knee control, whereas JST does not. NovaClip offers quite a bit of an extra features. First, there is the crossover, which is basically a sidechain filter to the clipper, similar to how your sidechain compression works. And this would basically leave your low end intact based on what you select here, which is useful for sensitive applications like mastering. I haven't had a chance to fully understand what the ceiling is, but I assume it's just your output gain. The auto gain feature is engaged in here, which is amazing. You have dry wet mix knob, the amount of clipping, the shape, which is probably also soft to hard selection, and also you have the THD, which is additionally introduced distortion to the circuit. And you can also monitor the signal with the delta button, the signal that you are clipping only. And then there is oversampling up to 16x, which is great. Now let's hear it in action. So this is standalone complex multitracks by Brian Hu. Cheers, Brian. And let's just take a listen to the drums, firstly without clipping, and I have to let you know that I've stripped back a few plugins so that the action of the clipping would be a bit more obvious here. first impressions, I don't think that the tone that we're getting is much different from other plugins on the market. However, I like the simplicity of usage. I like the ability to control the amount of distortion that we're getting very precisely. And I flipped between A and B. A were the settings that I've dialed in before I started shooting this video, and B is what I've experimented with now. And B sounds more distorted, and it just sounds a little bit different. It gives a different tone to the drum mix, whereas A is a bit more transparent. And either works. Let's see what it does in the mix now. Well, that was cool. So these are my initial impressions. These are not prepared, these are not scripted. I just go with what I feel like now. And I feel like it's so easy to dial in, and I am excited by this because I don't need to spend much time. I've twisted those knobs and I'm happy, and this sits in the mix well and it serves its purpose. Plus, you have the freedom to quite flexibly tweak it to where you want it to be. Now let's compare maybe this first setting, which was a bit more transparent, with some other clippers on the market, which I preset here too. Interesting. I have some very interesting observations. Even though, again, this is not a scientific test, I am keeping the auto gain compensation on all of these plugins, so we are getting a similar level, but I'm not monitoring whether I'm clipping the similar amount of, well, gain reduction, I guess, for each of those plugins. So this is not exactly scientific. However, there are some observations which I want to just confirm by listening to it a bit closer. Maybe let's go and listen to the drums in solo. Even though in the mix all these clippers sound similar, to say the least, in the mix frequencies mask up, cover each other, and don't give room for too much detail. However, there is quite a bit of a difference, and I can't say whether any of these is better or worse, but here are my observations. GST clip, and this one, as far as I know, do not have any oversampling embedded. If we listen to the top end, to the cymbals, it kinda washes them out in an unpleasant way. Check it out. So I would assume that this is aliasing distortion applied to the top end of the cymbals, which does not sound pleasant. The K-Clip 0. Gives quite a pleasant, softer character to the kicks, whereas NovaClip does not. It gives a more aggressive tone. This sounds more aggressive, not in a bad way at all. It seems like the clipping algorithm embedded in this plugin is a bit different, which is cool. It's a different tool in the palette, so we can use them both. And now comparing it with the Pro L2, which you can set to a clipping mode. Thanks Nicholas from Panorama Mastering for showing this trick. This is very cool. These settings, slowest attack, fastest release, engage only the clipping circuit in this limiter plugin, so it only acts as a clipper. But the sound of it is kind of rough. It's interesting. It feels like NovaClip brings up the RMS more than the other plugins. Maybe that's the auto gain compensation procedure that occurs in this or something else, but it just feels a bit louder. Not that different, but a bit higher in fidelity and just different in tone a little bit. Not drastically, but enough to get noticed. Let me try NovaClip on the mix now. What can we achieve with this? Time to draw some conclusions. Is NovaClip the best clipper on the market? I don't know, probably not. But to be honest, comparing to 4 other clippers kind of sounds similar to them. Not in a bad way, it's just they all sound quite rather similar. What makes NovaClip good? Flexibility and the ability to achieve results fast. And that's once again the philosophy of Modern Metal Songwriter plugins. With Clairvoyant, you can achieve good guitar tones fast, and with this NovaClip, you can clip anything quite fast as well. Plus, what I really liked about NovaClip is its flexibility and the ability to dial back clipping and add a lot of oversampling to get really flexible results for your mastering in particular. Now, I would like to be heavily fact-checked on this, and I would like for someone to run Plugin Doctor and to see how oversampling circuits work on this plugin and whether my ears do not fool me on this test. However, I tend to trust my ears, and in this sense, these are my conclusions. I hope that this helps you, and let me know what you think of this plugin after you have demoed it. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers, and until next time, take care.